Hey everybody, it's DJ Talks, and it's Thursday on the Breakfast Club, and I got a new headset that's like really nice, and it was kind of expensive, so I'm hoping that this volume issue I've been having with my Breakfast Club videos is alleviated, because I feel like when I don't use my mic, you can't hear me at all. Like when I just rely on my built-in mic, you guys can't hear me at all, or that's some of the feedback that I've been getting. Some people can hear it, and then when I plug in my like Yeti mic, I always hold it too close and I can it's just way too loud. It's like breaking, you know what I mean? Like when it's just too loud. So hopefully that this is decent and you guys can hear me. Today I wanted to talk about something that I saw on Twitter, which was a little upsetting. And there's this woman, and I don't even want to say her name because I feel like she doesn't deserve any attention for this or any more attention for this. But she's not like famous. I mean, she has like 30,000 followers on Twitter, and she's like a comedian. She does some shows and stuff, so she's like low tier celeb comedian. I don't know. Um, and she's a bigger woman, plus size, whatever. Like I don't know what word she prefers, because some people are like, just call me fat. Just do plus size, whatever. I don't know. Um, and she tweeted something that was really concerning. So in the UK, this cancer research organization in the UK, that I think is non-profit. They posted these advertisements that say obesity causes cancer, and she took a picture of the sign and she was like, who do we have to talk to get this taken down? This is horrible. This is traumatizing. Like I shouldn't have to look at this on the way to work and blah blah blah. And apparently these signs are around the UK, I guess. So this organization actually responded to her and said that, obesity is the second leading cause of cancer behind smoking, I think it was. And that it is their duty to inform the public of things that can cause cancer. And she got really upset about it, and she was responding with all these articles about how obesity can't actually link to cancer at all, and yeah, so she's trying to get it taken down. And then after this whole debacle on Twitter, where she was, of course, criticized quite heavily, supported also quite heavily, she got offered a book deal, so apparently she's going to write a book about this, so that's great. Anyway, I found her, her response is pretty upsetting. And I want to kind of explain why. So, there's a whole culture on YouTube of like, don't ignore science. And yes, that is one of the reasons that I think that, those posters should be allowed to stay up. But that's not really the main reason. The main reason is that this nonprofit organization is raising money to put up these posters to spread awareness to people who may not typically have access to good medical information. So people who are underprivileged or economically disadvantaged, whatever you want to say, poor, people who don't go to doctors all the time, people who, and of course the healthcare system in the UK is a lot better than here in the United States, in my opinion. But, there's still going to be people who don't go to the doctor all the time, or who don't have or just single parents who don't have the time to do that. And so even though a lot of people know, hey, it's not good to eat fast food, or it's not good to be overweight in a way that is significant, maybe not a lot of them know that obesity causes cancer. I had no idea that obesity was linked to cancer, and I'm a student at a university. So it's extremely worrying to me that this woman, who is in a position of power because of her following on Twitter, and because she is obviously not disadvantaged in this way, is trying to use her power to take medical information away from people who need it. People who don't have access to it like she does. And that is disgusting and unfair and horrible. I think that personally, I understand where she's coming from, and some of her feelings are that, like, it's okay to be fat, you know, you can be healthy and be fat. You can, you know what I mean? And those ideas are like, fine, sure, whatever. Like, I personally think that people who are fat, and I'm using this term because many people in the plus size community prefer the term fat, so that's why I'm using it. I'm not trying to be like offensive. People who are overweight, whatever you want to call it, um, get so much unnecessary shit. First of all, ostracizing people for their life choices do not necessarily help in alleviating those life choices. Don't fix anything. There's lots of research that's been done on that, so I don't believe in doing that. I don't believe that's my place or my business to get into people's lives that way. It's their choice. I'm going to respect somebody no matter their size. They're still a human being and deserve respect, even if they know what they're doing is wrong, even if they have the power to change it. I think that, you're a human being. I'm going to treat you with dignity and respect. Like, that's your choice. And I'm not even going to think twice about it. Um, Even if you're not healthy, like, you don't have to be healthy to be respected. Like, and I totally support that. But what I don't support is her trying to take, blog posts off Tumblr and make them juxtapose them. I mean, not juxtapose them, like stamp them over actual medical science. Especially because it feels like, while this insecurity that maybe she's feeling is completely justified, just because you're feeling that way does not give you the right to use your power to take information away from those who need it. I think that's ridiculous. It's just very upsetting. Because, you know, this woman thinks that what she's doing is morally justified, and she thinks that she is in the position of moral, like, superiority here because she's doing something to help people and be more conscious of people's perceptions of their bodies, which is totally fine. But what she's not recognizing is that, the badness of what she's doing does not lie in, like, what other people are like, ah, you're fat, you're gross. Like, that's, who cares about them? What she's doing, again, is taking away medical information, important medical information, potentially life-saving medical information away from people who need it. And if she wants to believe, and she calls this junk science, this link from obesity to cancer, she calls it junk science, which is okay, whatever. I don't agree with her. But, like, it's kind of like anti-vaxxers to me. Like, you can't just say, like, could you imagine if anti-vaxxers were going around, like, trying to put signs over signs to get like flu shot signs or something like that? You know what I mean? Saying, like, this is fake and, love yourself and your flu. I don't know. I'm not trying to equate being overweight to having the flu or being a disease. I'm sorry, but I just think that it's really upsetting. And I don't know. It just was infuriating to see her, like, oh, gloat about how she's getting a book deal over this. And I'm like, wow, you're getting a book deal over how you're going to use your privilege to take away, potentially life-saving information from for people who need it. Like, screw you. Like, that's not good at all. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts about this, but I was a little upset. Yeah. Let me know what you think. Especially if you know who she is, then I don't know. I haven't got an update on the whole situation in a few days, so I should probably go look it up and see, like, what's happening. But it's a little upsetting, and I think that some nuance is considered here.